Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the stuff we did not get to during the course of the show today. Boy, have you ever felt like the Lord protected you from something?
Yes.
I know I did last night.
Last night? That recent?
Yes, because, you know, let me find the audio. I have the audio. Hang on a second. We've talked about this on the Aftercast before, but it was Forrest Frank deciding not to go to the Dove Awards, which is like the Christian Grammys, and this was what he had to say about it.
As Christians, it's hard to know where the line in the sand is between being in the world and not of the world. And as a Christian artist, you know, I dress kind of like the world. I kind of look like the world. My music can kind of sound like the world. So where's the line in the sand drawn? And I'm convicted personally that a line that I can draw is that I will not receive a trophy for something that is from Jesus and for Jesus. And I was wrestling with this last year. I even said that on stage at the Dove Awards. I said, I'm still struggling with the concept of receiving this award, but all glory to Jesus. Every name will fade away, including mine, except for one name. But I feel a conviction to go even a step further and say, I don't know if I even want to step on the stage. I don't know if I want to step in the room. And so I have decided to take a stance of non-participation. I will not be attending the Doves or the Grammys. I hope to be an example to the youth that the trophy is our salvation. The
Amen.
Trophy is that my name is listed in the book of life and I get to have eternal life. What good is a piece of metal gonna do compared to that?
Yes, you are amazing. Best Christian ever trophy goes to Forrest Frank, but he doesn't want it because it's an award. He just won Best Christian. Isn't that crazy? Boy, howdy. I take such issue with that because he's like, it's a personal conviction. I get that. Then keep it personal. You made it public. And what you did was, and I'll break it all down, is you made it everyone else is wrong, Forrest is right. And you cannot argue with Forrest because he put God on the side too, you know? And this was rough. So I was flipping through Instagram last night and somebody else comes up responding to this video and they're like, so glad we made this guy famous. And all these people are just like, oh, what a great example of godliness and blah, 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 blah. And everybody's like just saying, this is so amazing. So I was like, okay, I've had enough. I'm commenting on this publicly from the Wally Show account. I'm ready to go. And I know Betty doesn't like that idea.
Oh, no.
So, but I wanted to make sure I did it well, okay?
Is there a way to do it well?
Absolutely. And so I wrote down my thoughts in another program so I wasn't just riffing on it and then hit send by accident because I
At
definitely
least you
could do
got that part.
So I did that. All right, so this was my first response.
Oh, boy.
Forrest is a social media master. This is what makes him so smart. He sets himself up as the victim, positions things so that God is on his side. This gives him the holy high ground. With regard to award shows, he set up an assumption that no one questioned. That was anyone attending those award shows was all about glory and fame. That, my friends, is Forrest making a judgment about all of them, something he doesn't want done to himself. Remember when he shamed other artists like Matthew West and Corey Asbury into apology videos for their parody songs? He painted his brothers, in quotes, as bullies to get clicks. Just like the big public declaration of not receiving awards, he shamed his fellow artists publicly. This is the second time he's pulled this nonsense in a couple weeks.
Okay.
Jesus said, those who pray in public have received their award. Forrest should have simply not gone. Making this a public declaration was strategic, and it worked. It worked on all of you. He got so many clicks. I would have respected him had he just not gone and not made the self-righteous, judgmental post.
Whoa.
It's a pattern and a strategy, and the worst part is I'm watching people fall for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
Bold
sir.
statements.
That's very bold.
I stand by it.
So then what happened?
So, okay. I then put it into ChatGPT and I said, hey, shorten this down to something that would be a good response in a on a social media post, a good comment.
Yeah.
And so it picked it out.
You might could have added in, make it sound a little bit friendlier.
No. See, that's what it. So it did a little
More
thing,
gentle.
and basically I then edited that down to just be about the stuff about the award show. I took all the other stuff out, but basically what he did was he set up a scenario by which he put a absolute in place that everyone that's at the award show is about fame and fortune and self-aggrandizing. Anyone who's not then is on the right side of this. And so that's what he did. That's what liberals do with things is they set up a value judgment and then they attach a morality to it. And then if you disagree with it, you are on the wrong side. So that's what he did. It's textbook manipulation. And so I had shortened my quote about all of that to be something that would be more palatable in there. ChatGPT said, hey, would you like me to take some of the tone out of this? And I said,
you should say yes.
I said, absolutely not. Do not take the tone out. The tone is what it is.
The tone is a bit much.
I just want it shorter so that people will actually read it. Because when you get into a long post, people don't read the long post.
No one's going to read it. No.
Exactly. So anywho, so then follow this out with me. This is the part about the Lord probably looking out for me because Betty wasn't there. Betty,
it's my fault.
Betty is my Jiminy Cricket. Let your conscience be your guide, and she's always in my ear about stuff. Do you think this is a good idea? It's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea.
And so I go back, when I finally get this, I go back to TikTok. I cannot find the post I was going to respond to. In fact, I cannot find a single post about this. I'm like, dadgummit. So I'm like, all right, that's not a sign. So I go to Instagram.
It is a sign.
I know. So then I go to Instagram and I doom scroll for the better part of.
You looked on Forrest Frank's, was it a video that he posted?
No, somebody else reacting to him.
Oh,
it was somebody else. So I wasn't going to just Google Forrest Frank because I'm like, okay, God, let's see how this goes. So I'm not, because if I just searched Forrest Frank, I would have gotten a bunch of them and then I could have reacted. So I was like, let me just see if it's still here, it's your will. And so, no, I'm kidding. I didn't assign that to it. But anyway, so I'm like, I didn't want to manipulate the situation. So I just sat there and scrolled and scrolled and scrolled and scrolled and scrolled. And it never came up. A good 15 minutes of scrolling probably. And it never came back up. So I did not seek it out and I did not post it.
I think that was the Lord. And I said, thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
For taking over my babysitting duties when I have to take some time for myself.
Yeah, because it was late at night. So it was like probably 9 o'clock at night. So you're off the clock by that time.
Don't you feel better in it's kind of like you write the note and then you don't send it, you just burn it. But at least you put it on paper and you got done with it. In essence, that's what you just did.
Yeah.
So do you feel better?
No. Maybe that's what Forrest should have done, is just write the note and then just not put it on social media. Because, I mean, in essence, you could make the argument that I'm doing the same thing by talking about it now. Okay, you had your moment where you felt better about something and you can just quietly take your stance, but you're making a public thing. I'm making a public thing because I'm reacting to a public thing. And so that's why I am in the right. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know if I'm right about this, but I feel like my opinion in the comments is the minority opinion, but when you start saying it, more people are like, I was thinking the same thing. Oh my gosh, because you can't come out against it because you look like the bad Christian. And that's the genius of Forrest Frank and how he manipulates people. He's a master at it.
Okay, wait a minute.
That's a compliment.
No, it's not.
He's a great manipulator.
Listen, I think you need to separate what Forrest Frank did, separate him and what he did. Okay? Don't put what he did with him as a person.
Oh, so we don't have personal responsibility for things? Is that I want to make sure we're on the same page?
I just want to make sure that we are doing something that is glorifying God and not.
Oh, you're learning from Forrest's page. You just took a page from Forrest.
Well,
Nicely done.
I don't want to use this platform as just a place for you to air out dirty laundry.
Nice. Good job. Right now, Forrest would be so proud of you. He'd be like, that's my girl. That's how you do it. You put the Lord on your side and make everyone else feel like garbage.
Okay.
Good job. Good job. No,
God, I tried.
I know. No, I do understand what you're saying. I think I've held back on some of this. And I think where it comes down to, if you're making public statements about stuff and you're putting it out for consumption, then it's fair game to have a rebuttal.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, do I think that Forrest is a bad person? No, I don't think he's a bad person. What?
Are you sure?
No, I don't. I don't think he's a bad person.
Because your tone and your words would say otherwise.
I think that I think he's probably a good dad. He's probably a loving husband. Do I think he's a bad person? No. Do I think he's misguided in the way that he's using this scenario or like some of the stuff with the artists that he kind of shamed? Absolutely. I think those were bad tactics, and I think it was for clicks. That's my own opinion. Is he a better Christian than me? By his own words? Absolutely. Because I'm never going to get on the radio and I'm never going to use the Lamb's Book of Life in any sentence I give, And so he's going to get a well-doner, good and faithful servant, like then I will get. And that's fine. I don't have a problem. At least I'm there. I'm getting a participation trophy in heaven. But I do take umbrage with how he does things. Like somebody asked, was it my wife or was it you? Somebody asked me, would you have Forrest Frank on the show to discuss this? This is my wife because we were driving the other day. And I said, the only way I would have Forrest Frank on the show, because I'm not going to be a hypocrite, then have him on the show and be like all sweet to him and stuff. I'm like, oh, you're amazing. I said, the only way I would have him on the show is if he came into the interview knowing I was going to talk about all this, knowing exactly where I stood. And I would, and normally when I have an interview in, even if I have something tough to talk about, I want to start from an ingratiating place and bring them to that place where we can talk about it. I wouldn't start that with this. This one I would say, look, I've been very critical of you online because I think you're critical of other people, and I don't like that. And you're going after people that I know to be good people. And so I don't like you in this moment. Now, I'm willing to have my mind changed about you, okay? So explain what you're thinking and walk me through your process and see if you can convince me that I have the wrong impression of you. If he would agree to that setup and that conversation, I would have it in a heartbeat. But anything other than that, no interest. Yeah, so anyway.
Okay.
That was how I spent my night. But again, all back to the Lord looking out for you. This was the interesting thing, though. Somebody told us something about this. They said they went to the Doves because we didn't go this year. They went to the Doves because it's an award show and I just don't think that's right for people getting awards. But anyway, we just didn't go because I didn't want to. So the Artist of the Year award, I have heard, was not presented. That's the big award you wait for at the end of the night. There's a couple big awards. It's the Artist of the Year and like Song of the Year and like New Artist of the Year kind of thing. And so those are the big ones that they saved to the end. And they finished out the entire Doves, and somebody told me they did not do New Artist of the Year because it was Forrest Frank and he won it. And so the Doves, I'm assuming, made the decision, fine, you don't want our awards and you're going to tinkle in our cornflakes, so to speak, and you don't like us, then we're not going to further you in this narrative of giving you this award that you obviously don't want to win and then helping promote you. And so
to me, them not giving it to him is promoting him. I think they should have given it to the runner-up or something.
Oh, yeah.
Just take him out of the category. If he doesn't want to take it, if he doesn't want it, then take him out of the category.
And go to the next person.
Go to the next one.
I think that would have been good. I don't know what their bylaws are, like if they have something, because every award show has rules, and so I don't know that they can do that based on the rules because he actually did win. If it was a nomination thing, they could have probably pulled him out of the nomination, but where he... And again, this is all alleged. I got to be very clear about that. I don't have that on authority from the Doves themselves. I should probably call Justin. I might could get an answer on that. Oh, I don't know if he'd tell me. But if this is all based on the if it's true that they did that, I respect their stance as much as his, But the funny thing is, if they did that, they didn't go up there on stage like Forrest did and say, I'm not doing this, and this is my thing. They just quietly made it go away. Like they took their stance, but they didn't make a shot at him publicly. He made a shot at them publicly, and that is part of the issue, I think. And so they took the high road if they did it quietly, and that's how it should be. I do believe in, Jesus talks about when you pray in private. The people that pray in public, they've gotten their reward. The interesting thing about that verse, too, is that it doesn't say that Jesus is mad at him or he hates him. He just says they got what they wanted, kind of thing. And so he's like, but this is what you should aspire to. So in the whole Forrest thing, in that scheme, putting it through that Jesus filter, Forrest got what he wanted, Does it make him a horrible person in the Jesus filter of that? No. He just says, oh, you got what you wanted. So if that's what you were trying to get, was the attention for it to your cause or to your feeling, you got what you wanted out of that. Now, there could be ramifications, just like free speech. When you have free speech, you can say whatever you want, but that doesn't mean you're free of the consequences. This kid has alienated a lot of people in the industry because of this. Now, his supporters will be like, yes, the world will hate you. They'll hate you in Jesus' name. That's right. That's what you want. But I think that was not what his intention was. It wasn't to purposely try to be hated. It was to look more like him, and then maybe people would disagree with you. But now, because of the way he set it up, people disagreeing with him when he says, this is what it's about. It's the Lamb's Book of Life, and our trophy is our salvation. He looks like the one that's like, oh, he's on the right side of that. You know, it looks like it's hard to argue against that kind of thing from a Jesus perspective, even using the argument of you get what you want, or the argument of you will be hated for loving me, because he went so hard on the all about Jesus, you know, kind of thing. So it's a fascinating thing to me. I'm real curious to see what this kid's career is going to be. I said when he first came out that I didn't think it was a longevity career. I think because there's not a lot of meat in the music. It's fun. It's really fun. But the fun stuff is in Christian music is a real flash. It doesn't tend to last. And he's doing so many. He has another song out I heard today. Like, I'm like, you put so much out that people don't care anymore. That's a bad business decision. And so I'm curious how long his run in this industry will be. And you do need people to help you in this industry. I mean, and so it'd be interesting to see if he's alienated enough people where they're like, good luck.
Only time will tell.
Yeah. Or if he even needs it. He might not need it. He might be that exception that has been able to, sidestep the industry in essence and have success. Maybe. And if he's right and God's on his side with all this and God makes him successful, then he wins, and I'm wrong. I'll be wrong. I can be wrong. It's okay.
I also think that having God on your side doesn't always mean successful in the world.
That's true. That's very true.
He could still be successful.
Yeah. And for all of this being said, this is getting into the minutia of it and the little bit of pettiness of it. There is a really good byproduct to him that is coming out, and that is people having fun in faith, and I think it is pointing people to God. And ultimately, I do believe that's what he wants. I do believe that. And so I don't think that I don't think that he's what he accused other people of being, just in it for the fame and the glory at the Doves. That's what he accused everybody else of being. I don't think he's in it for that. So I'm going to actually extend him that grace that he did not extend to everybody else and say, I don't believe that he is that. I do believe that he is super religious and really does have a desire for people to find God, and people are finding God through him and his music. And I think that ultimately that is a good thing. I think he just needs to learn to give other people the space to do what they do. When I first got to Christian radio, I thought that everybody was lame. And I was trying to do Christian radio differently. And I thought if you didn't do it the way I did it, then you were part of the problem and you were lame and you should be written off. It took me a few years to A, check my ego, and then B, realize that they have a ministry that I don't have, and that I have one that they don't have, and it's okay. Like, do I like some, the wacky, waka, waka, waka kind of what I would call like cheesy dad joke radio? I don't. But does it work, and does it point people to God? Absolutely. And so, yeah, I learned to give people in that area that space to be that, because it does click with people and it does point people to God. And all I ask is the same, to let me be a little more honest, let me be a little more real, let me push the edges a little bit, because there's a segment of people that appeals to them, and they're finding faith through this as well. And ultimately, that should be all of our goals, regardless of how we get there, is to bring more people with us to heaven. So there you go. All right, that is the rant on that. Wow, again, that's a long one. rent-free in my head.
I mean, you said it.
I know, and you're looking at me, and you're right. What do you got, Rock?
Well, I've got news about your other favorite person
Not
in the whole
another
wide
rant.
world. It's Ryan
Oh.
Seacrest.
Cynthia Erivo and the top 11 right there. You can catch her playing Aretha Franklin on the National Geographic limited series Genius Aretha, premiering this fall.
I love when he stumbles. It makes me feel so good because he's always so perfect, and I
He's got a
stumble
great
all
voice.
the time. Oh,
Great head of hair.
He's a consummate. He's beautiful. He is a consummate host. Like, if you need something hosted, you go to that guy because he's not going to offend anybody. He's going to do it well 9 times out of 10, and he's just, hey, he's Ryan Seacrest. So what do you have about him?
Well, he has a very popular radio show that he hosts.
Debatable, but fine.
And recently, he had Taylor Swift on as a guest.
What?
Crazy. So, of course, if you didn't know, good for you. I wish I didn't know. Taylor Swift is engaged. She's getting married to Travis Kelce. And Ryan Seacrest just casually threw his name in the hat for officiating the wedding.
Yes, he did.
Because he claims, and I guess he did, he officiated his co-host's wedding. So she met her husband, and he got all that together.
Yeah.
And his co-host, of course, was there, and she was like, yeah, he did a really great job. And Swift said, I am honored. I am honored. I would be honored.
But is it I would be honored is different than I'm honored. I'm honored means thank you, no. I would be honored means let's do this. That be is very important.
Well, it's interesting. In the article, it says both. So
Okay.
I'm not really sure which it was.
It kills me that we've lived such a similar life, and he is just so much more successful than me and better looking than me. We're both radio guys. We both have nationally syndicated shows. We both have been on TV and movies. And he is also ordained. I am ordained. We've done weddings, and he is still more liked and more famous than me, and it kills a little piece of my soul.
You know what? This goes back to what are you in it for? That it's not about the
You know what?
acclamations.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I've pointed more people to Jesus than Ryan Seacrest. I think I have. I think you're right, Rock. Thank you for the win. Thank you for the eternal win. Kingdom mindset here. I love you. Thank you.
Oh, jeez.
It would be interesting to see if he did that. I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious what her wedding would look like.
She won't have Ryan Seacrest because
No
that's too gimmicky.
Yeah.
She's going to have it more because she's all about romance. So
I know.
It'll be, I don't know who it'll be, but it'll be someone with, it'll be like, I don't know. Like you said it's kind of like the American version of the
Royalty,
royal
yeah.
family getting married, and it's so true.
I would love to see the conversations with them, Travis Kelce and her, about what the wedding should be. Because her dream from being a child is she's written millions of songs about and everything about love and romance. And this is a guy that strikes me as he's like, could we have a Hot Pocket table at the reception? You know, like he seems like that kind of guy. And she seems like, no, we're having foie gras, you know.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what that wedding looks like and who pays for it. Because he's wealthy too, but she's more wealthy than he is.
Right.
And so.
And at some point, when does it get so big that you can't put the brakes on it?
And how weird is it too? Because she's more wealthy than her parents. So typically your parents pay for your wedding.
No.
And it's not going to be enough for her. You know, even though her dad is wealthy, I think that's going to be her, and like parents may be paying some so they feel like they did a parently role, and then she's gonna be like, well, I want this, don't worry, I got it, I'll pay for it. And that's fine. Yeah, she should. I mean, she should make that day what she wants, but that will be the wedding that people talk about. Whatever year that happens, if you're getting married that year, just don't like push it off a year.
Just don't.
Yeah, just don't get married the year that Taylor Swift gets married, because no one will even remotely talk about yours, or they'll compare your lackluster event to Taylor Swift's all day long. So let's do some birthdays before we get out of here, if you have any.
Yes, I do. I have one that, and just a reminder, if you have a birthday shout out that you want to send us, we can get that done. Just text the word shout out to 91979. That's one word. Shout out to 91979, and we will get it in. All right, we've got a few of them. Gabby wants to wish her son Gunnar a happy birthday, saying he loves Jesus and shows us all how to follow him. He's sweet, funny, and sassy.
Gunner's that name we talked about boy names the other day. Like somebody wanted to name their name kid Brisket. And we're like, now, Gunner, that's a baller name.
Mm-hmm. Lewis wants to wish his son Noah a happy birthday. Noah is turning 12. He loves listening to the Wally Show on our drives to soccer and matching games. And marching band, He plays forward and midfield for Millville United and plays saxophone for Lakeside Middle.
Goodness. I played forward and middle. I played left wing and halfback, and I also played saxophone.
Y'all have a lot
school.
in common,
We
you
do.
and Noah.
Yeah.
And then finally, Casey wants to wish her husband George a happy 30th birthday.
Yay!
That's George with a J. Fancy.
Oh, then that's Jorge.
Oh, you're right.
Because it's what?
With a J?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jorge. Okay.
Hey, that's okay. I heard from Guillermo the other day.
Okay.
Guillermo, who Betty called Guillermo.
Hey, Gills.
Yeah, and he would email all the time. I love that guy, and he's still around. So Jorge.
Okay. Jorge or George. He has a work ethic that would make Wally proud. He knows how to be disciplined with his time. He's faithful leader of our household and a great intentional dad to our twin 2-year-olds. Wow. All right. Question from Casey. Give us, Potty, some inside info. How do the members of the show not interrupt each other when they want to interject something in someone else's story? Do you raise your hand or do you say something to add? I'm so curious.
Interesting. Yeah, we have in radio, one of the things that happens all the time when you start a new show is everybody talks over everybody else, and you don't have chemistry until you build that. And so what happens is you use hand signals. Like you'll raise your hand like to say, okay, when you finish your thought, I'll have my hand up sometimes and like come to me. And then like you make your hand like your thumb and your finger small. Like sometimes you go, okay, I have something small that I'm going to interject. Now, we used to have to do that a lot more. What happens is over time, you kind of find your role and you find your shots and your places. And a lot of it now is facial like recognition. Like I'll look at Betty's eyes and I can see, oh, she wants to chime in here. And I will like give her that space and pause so she can get in. It's a lot more difficult during support drive to do this, and we really rely on hand signals during support drive than we do in the normal show. But yeah, it is funny though, sometimes I misread her face and I will be like, okay, she's ready to say something, and I'll kind of wrap up, and then she just looks at me dead stare. And then I'll pick up and keep going like that pause. And then like at the end, I'll be like, what happened? She's like, I'm like, I thought you had something to say. She's like, nope, just listening. Like, okay.
I'm just listening.
Yeah, so that is how we do it. But yeah, once you build chemistry, you don't require or rely on the hand signals as much. But in the beginning, that was a big reason the Aftercast started, was we had just had a new incarnation of the show, and we were trying to build up that chemistry faster. And so we did the Aftercast podcast as a way to start building quicker so that we could move the show on the air to something that sounded more polished in a lot quicker time frame, and it worked. So there you go.
There you go. Little inside scoop.
Well, that's awesome. I love that question, and love you guys listening. Thank you so much for being a potty, and we will do this again tomorrow. Hopefully, Gavin will be back. Did we talk about Gavin's heart thing?
We did not.
We did not. Okay, so Gavin, real quick, Gavin had like a heart thing the other day. He's had high blood pressure, and sometimes he gets worked up on things, and his blood pressure raises and stuff.
He gets nervous.
He does.
Quickly.
Betty makes him nervous. And so he had an episode, but then he went to the doctor and found out like his heart is out of rhythm, like it's adding a beat, skipping a beat, something like that. And so they tried medicine, and then he had another bad day where it wasn't working. And so he went to the hospital Wednesday night, like at 10. And then somewhere around midnight, he texted me and was like, hey, I think they're going to put me out and shock my heart back into rhythm. I'm like, wow, okay, that's a text to wake up to. And then about 9 o'clock, he let me know, hey, they did the procedure. I've just been resting. I'm tired, because when you get heart stuff, it wears you out. You get groggy, and it's physically exhausting. And so that's why he wasn't here on Wednesday and Thursday. And so I don't know if he'll be back in tomorrow or not. But yesterday he was feeling better. And so today, hopefully, he's really on the mend. But he might just sit it out tomorrow.
He's got to stay away from that Alani drinks.
He might have
the
to.
Dose drinks. He was drinking one a day, and
coffee
and coffee. Yeah. So
and the Alani witch's
down.
brew, they said, gives you heart. Some people it affects them, like where it gives them heart attack symptoms. Me, I just grin it and bear it and shake it off. But no, it doesn't affect me. But maybe, I mean, that would be really weird if that affected him because that's his favorite one. But he said he had stopped, and then he had the heart stuff. Maybe he'd already done something to it. I don't know.
Maybe because he stopped cold turkey. That's what did it.
Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, so he's on the mend, and he'll be back with us hopefully tomorrow. If not tomorrow, though, it's going to be a while because Betty Rock and I are both on vacation next week. We're both out all week next week. Are you going to do anything? You plan anything or just not be here?
There's a good chance that I might be going... what is it when you slide on the string?
Zip lining.
Yeah, zip lining.
Wait, what?
On Thursday.
I
maybe.
love that.
I'm not sure.
I
I'm
love
supposed
that
to go
for
with
you.
my friend Dina.
I hope you do.
And she's got a few friends because she does Meals on Wheels. And there's these two ladies that run it in the county that she goes to. And they are in their one of them's 83 and have never done it and wants to. And so Dina was like, "Oh, me and Betty will go with you." So I'm going with her on her Meals and Wheels run, and then after that, we're supposed to go ziplining.
If you're gonna zip line with the 83-year-old, go first. Don't go second.
Why?
Because if she goes, her dentures could come out and hit you, and you don't want to get hit with a mouthful of dentures.
That is a great point.
Yep.
Usually you're full of really ridiculous,
ideas.
unvaluable ideas.
But
that one was a winner.
I might have redeemed the whole first 19 minutes of this Aftercast in your brain. All right, so that's going to do it for your Aftercast. And as always, thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.